Good morning, students. We are discussing the chapter Human Health and Disease. Human Health and Disease. Okay, in Human Health and Disease, in previous class, what else we have studied? In previous class, we have studied about the protozoan diseases. In protozoan diseases, we have studied two protozoan diseases. What are those in the sense? One is malaria, another one is amoebiasis. In malaria, we have studied the causative agent for malaria is Plasmodium, and there are three types of Plasmodium. One is Plasmodium vivax, Plasmodium malaria, and Plasmodium falciparum. And Plasmodium falciparum is the malignant. Okay. It is the malignant plasmodium which is caused malaria, and we have studied the life cycle stages of malaria in the sense Plasmodium. Plasmodium has a two hosts for completing its life cycle. One is human, another one is female Anopheles mosquito, and here female Anopheles mosquito it acts as vector. Okay, so these many things we are discussed already. For the malaria. Next disease we have studied in protozoan under the protozoan diseases, that is what we are going to call it as amoebiasis. Amoebiasis it is called amoeboid dysentery at the peritoneum. It is caused by entomobacterium, and we have studied the symptoms for amoebiasis. First one is what we have studied the symptoms for the amoebiasis in the sense. First one is constipation, abdominal pain, cramps, and the stool with the excess of mucus and blood. Okay, these are the things we have studied yesterday in previous video, and today in the present class we are going to discuss the next next common diseases which are mentioned in your NCERT book, which are caused by. One is helminthius diseases, in the sense it is caused by the helminthius, and next one is fungal diseases which are caused by the fungi. Now, first we are going to start discussing about the helminthius diseases. We are going to go for discussing two diseases which are caused by the helminthius, named as one is Ascaris, another one is elephantiasis. In detail, we are going to study these two diseases which are mentioned in our book. The Ascariasis and elephantiasis. These are the two diseases which are caused by helminthius. The causative agent for Ascariasis is Ascaris, that is the common roundworm. Ascaris atandre jantu. Understood? So, nimge ellarigu nenapaide nodri last year nam college nag ಏನು ಪಾತಂದಾಗ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹಾಸ್ಪಿಟಲ್ ನರ್ಸಸ್ ಬಂದು ನಿಮಗೆ ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ ರಿಗಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಅಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? ಜಂತುಹುಳುಗಳ ನಾಶಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನಾವು ಅದನ್ನು ಟ್ಯಾಬ್ಲೆಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೌದಾ? ಸೊ ಟುಡೇ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಅಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯಾಸಿಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಾಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಅಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಸ್. ಅಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ಜಂತುಹುಳು. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಮ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ದಿ ಅಸ್ಕ್ಯಾರಿಯಾಸಿಸ್. In last year, first year, you have studied the animal kingdom. Then you have studied about the Ascaris. Here the sexes are separated. Male is different from the female. Female is larger than the male. These are all the things we have studied. Now, this is come for your practical exam also. We are going to discuss in practical class there, right? So, Ascariasis, it is a helminthius disease which is caused by Ascaris. It is caused by Ascaris. The common name for the Ascaris is common roundworm. Understood? Now, what are the symptoms for the Ascariasis? As we have discussed about the symptoms of amoebiasis, protozoan disease, kaltiddu. Adhe riti illu kuda navu kalithipa adanda symptoms for the Ascariasis. One is internal bleeding, then muscular pain. Internal bleeding ಅಂತಂದಾಗ this Ascaris ಜಂತ್ ಏನಪ್ಪಾ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಇಂಟರ್ನಲ್ ಡ್ಯಾಮೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಎದಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಡೈಜೆಸ್ಟಿವ್ intestine, right? That is for internal bleeding. Muscular pain, muscle pain agtaiತಿ, fever anemia. Anemia in the sense loss of RBCs or dysfunction of it RBCs. RBCs ಅಂದ್ರಾಗೇನ red blood cell the number ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗ್ತೈತಿ or else ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ dysfunction of the RBCs. That is what we are going to call that as a anemia. Blockage of the intestinal passage. Intestinal passage in small intestine, large intestinal passage it can block ಕೂಡ ಆಗಬಹುದು due to the presence of ascaris or the parasitic activities of ascaris. Now these ascaris you are going to found in a what? Intestine. Understood? In the sense this is endoparasite. Ascaris is an endoparasite. It is live inside the body of an organism. Now how this ascariasis disease is going to contaminate? In the sense the ascariasis disease is going to transfer from one person to the another person. So that is what contamination, or we are going to call that one as a mode of transmission. Mode of transmission. How it is going to transfer from one person to the another person. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಕಲಿತೀವಿ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ how this ascariasis is going to transfer from one person to the another person. Now here eggs of this what we are going to call as a parasite. Eggs of the parasite, in the sense eggs of the ascaris, what along with the fecus of the infected person. If ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇನ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗೈತೆ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, ಆ ಫೀಕಸ್ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. ಫೀಕಸ್ ಇಸ್ ದಿ ವೇಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. With the fecus of infected person, the eggs are contaminated to the soil. They are introduced into the soil. They are introduced into the water. They are and plant. In the sense, the with their help means with fecus of the infected person, they are contaminated soil, water, and plant. If the normal person used to consume the contaminated water, or what we are going to call it as a contaminated fruits and vegetables, which are come under the means these are the products of the plants, fruits and vegetables. So from those it is going to transmit from one person to the another person. And you all aware about the children. Child ಸಣ್ಣ ಹುಡುಗರು ಇರ್ತವು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ಅವು ಮಣ್ಣಾಗದು ಆಡ್ತವೆ. They used to play in a mud or they used to play with the soil. That time their hands, contaminated hands, ಅವಕ್ಕೂ eggs stick ಆಗ್ಬೋದು, ಅಥವಾ sometimes they used to eat mud or a what we are going to call as soil. With those the contaminated mud and soil, the eggs of ascaris are introduced into the what we are going to call that as a children, and that causes the ascariasis. In such a way that the ascariasis is going to transmit from one person to the another person. So in this particular disease, ascariasis, it is the helminthes disease which is caused by the ascaris. Common name is what? Common roundworm. These are the symptoms: internal bleeding, muscular pain, fever, anemia, blockage of the intestinal passage. These are the symptoms. And how it is going to transmit? In the sense, infected person's fecus, that is going to contaminate soil, water and plant. If the contaminated water or a contaminated fruits or vegetables, if the normal person is to have, that time these eggs are transmitted into his or her body, and there they are going to start growing, or the further development and maturation is to take place, and that leads to the ascariasis. This is the thing about the ascariasis. The second disease we are going to study under the helminthes diseases, that is elephantiasis or filariasis. Elephantiasis or filariasis. Now, the causative agent for the elephantiasis or filariasis is Wuchereria. Its spelling is very important. Wuchereria, R-E-R-I-E, Wuchereria. Understood? Now, there we are going to find in this Wuchereria two different species. What are those? W. brown Bancrofti, B-A-N-C-R-O-F-T-I. Wuchereria Bancrofti and Wuchereria Malaria. These two species which are going to cause what elephantiasis or filariasis disease. ಈಗ ಈ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಒಂದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಪರ್ಟಿಕ್ಯುಲರ್ ಸಿಗ್ನಿಫಿಕೆಂಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಏನಂತಂದಾಗ this is the chronic inflammation. This cause chronic inflammation. What is mean by chronic inflammation atandara? Chronic in the sense longer duration. It may take 6 months or it may take many years like that. Chronic in the sense, when we are going to talk about the diseases, chronic diseases in the sense those diseases are what we are going to call it as a process, or those are there in our body for a longer time. So that is what chronic disease. Inflammation in the sense, if we are going to find any swelling or a redness on our body or itching or burning sensation, these all are the what we are going to call it as a inflammations. These all are the type of inflammations. Understood? So here elephantiasis or filariasis, it is a chronic inflammation of the organ, any organ. Okay, in which they live for many years. In the sense, Ucheraria Bangkokki or Ucheraria Malai, what they used to do? They are caused with chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation for the organ in which they live for many years. For example, lymphatic vessel of a lower limb. Lymphatic vessel of the lower limb. Usually, these Ucheraria are found in lymphatic vessel of the lower limb, and they are going to cause the elephantiasis or filariasis. Next point, we are going to go for transmission. How they are going to transfer from one person to another person. Here, once again, for the elephantiasis or filariasis, the vector is female Anopheles mosquito. By the female Anopheles mosquito bite, the elephantiasis or filariasis is transferred from one person to the another person. In the sense, here also the vector is, what is the vector here? The female mosquito. Female mosquito is act as a vector for the elephantiasis. So these are the two diseases we are studying under the helminthes diseases. One is ascariasis, another one is elephantiasis. Now we are moving towards the fungal disease. Fungi. Here we are going to study about the ringworms. Now these ringworms are caused by Microsporum trichophyton and Microsporum epidermophyton. Microsporum trichophyton and Microsporum epidermophyton. These are the positive agent for ringworm. Ringworm, it is what? Fungal disease. And this is the last type. Okay, still first of all we have studied the common diseases which are caused by different pathogens. First is a bacterial disease. Second one we have studied the viral disease. Third one we have studied the protozoan disease. Fourth one we have studied about the helminthes disease. And fifth one we are studying now fungal or the diseases which are caused by the fungi. That is what? Ringworm. And that ringworm is caused by, or a causative agent for ringworms are Microsporum trichophyton and Microsporum epidermophyton. Okay, these are the causative agent. Now next we are going to study about the symptoms. Likewise, how we are studying the symptoms for ascariasis. Here are the symptoms. Appearance of dry scaly lesions. Appearance in the sense ಬರುವುದು ಅಥವಾ ಆಗುವುದು. Appearance of dry scaly lesions. Lesions in the sense what? Damages. Lesions in the sense damages. It may be in the form of wound, in the sense tumor, or it may be in the form of what we are going to call it as a dry patches and all. Okay, scaly lesions on various part of the body, like skin ಮೇಲೆ ಇರಬಹುದು lesions, nails ಮೇಲೆ ಇರಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ scalp ಮೇಲೆ ಇರಬಹುದು. Understood? So the first symptom is appearance of the dry scaly lesions on a various part of the body like skin, nails and scalps. And these lesions accompanied by the intense itching. Accompanied in the sense with or ಅದರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿರಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಲೆಸನ್ಸ್ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತೈತಿ ಈಚಿಂಗ್ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ತುರುಕಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈಚಿಂಗ್ ಇರಬಹುದು. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಸಿಂಪ್ಟಮ್. ಅಂಡ್ for the development of fungi or growth of fungi, what it is essential or what it is stimulating factors attandaga heat and moisture helps to grow These what I told you, heat and moisture helps to grow fungi. And last one is how these fungal diseases are going to transmitted from one person to the another person with contaminated soil, towels, whatever the towels used to use. If the one person is used, in the sense ringworm ಆಗಿರುವಂತ person use ಮಾಡಿದ towel ಬೇರೆದವರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ it is going to transmit from one person to the another person. ಈ ringworms ನೀವು ಯೂಶುವಲಿ ನೋಡಿರಬಹುದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾತ್ರ ನೆಕ್ ರೀಜನ್ ಆಗಬಹುದು ಅಥವಾ ಕೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಆಗಬಹುದು ವೈಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾಚಸ್ ಅದು ಆಗ್ತವೆ. ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟುಡ್? These are the what the appearance of the ringworms. And next, how it is going to transmit? With using the cloth of a contaminated person and comb, which suppose ಅದೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಆ ringworm ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹುಣ್ಣ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಥವಾ ಉಂಡಾಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅದರ ಅಲ್ಲಿ comb ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಂಥ comb ನೀವು ಬೇರೆದವ್ರು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಮಿಟ್. ಸೊ ಲೈಕ್ವೈಸ್ these are the things we are going to study about the ringworms. In the sense, fungal disease in ringworm we are studying. Ringworms are caused by the positive agent for the ringworms are Microsporum trichophyton and Microsporum epidermophyton. Symptoms: appearance of the lesions in a various part of the body like skin, nails and scars with intense itching. Understood? And heat and moisture which helps to grow the fungi. And the mode of transmission of a ringworms, it is due to by contaminated soil, towels, using the towels, cloths and combs of a what infected person. This is about what the fungal disease. And here we used to complete the common diseases in human. The concept common diseases in human. Under the concept of common diseases in human, we are studied still for so far pathogens. Definition of pathogens. What is the definition for pathogen? What is the definition of pathogen? The disease causing organism. The disease causing organisms are called as a pathogens. And the examples for the pathogens are bacteria, virus, protozoans, helminthes, fungi, etc. So in this particular point, which is the point common diseases in human, under the concept common diseases in human, we are studied still for so far pathogen definition nodu. Another we are studied the different types of pathogens. For example, bacteria, virus, protozoans, helminthes and fungi. And we are studied one by one, in the sense bacterial disease which are mentioned in your NCERT book. Two bacterial diseases are there. One is typhoid, mattondu pneumonia. Typhoid and pneumonia, these are the bacterial disease. ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡ್ರಿ. these are the bacterial disease we are studied. ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾನು ಒಂದು ಪೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಬರೆದು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ bacterial disease ಯಾವ್ಯಾವ? One is typhoid, another one is pneumonia. Positive agent for the typhoid is Salmonella typhi, and for the pneumonia is Streptococcus pneumoniae. Another one is Haemophilus influenza. Right? These are the positive agent. And for the typhoid, how it is going to diagnose? In the sense confirmed by using the viral test. ಇದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಸ್ಕಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. Now next ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅಂದಾಗ viral disease. In viral disease we are studying the common cold. Positive agent for the common cold is Rhinovirus. After that we are studying the protozoan diseases. In protozoan diseases we are studying the two diseases. One is the malaria, another one is amoebiasis. In malaria, positive agent for the malaria is Plasmodium. Positive agent for the amoebiasis is Entamoeba histolytica. Then we are studying about the helminthes disease in this present class. Ascariasis and elephantiasis, these are the two diseases come under the helminthes disease. And last of this concept, common diseases in human, that is what fungal disease. Ringworms, which are caused by the Microsporum trichophyton and Microsporum epidermophyton. Here we are studying the symptoms and how the ringworms are going to transmit from one person to the another person. And this is very important when you are going to study the common diseases in human, like common diseases, bacterial disease, viral disease, then protozoan disease, helminthes disease, fungal disease. ಇವು ನಾವು ಕಲಿತಾಗ ನೀವು ಏನೇನು ಅದರೊಳಗೆ ಬರೆಯಕ್ಕೆ ತಂದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ a disease causing means positive agent for the disease, symptoms, then how it is going to transmit from one person to another person, and preventive measures. Now here in all these, what we used to do we used to make one chart. take one complete what page. ಈಗ ನೀವು ruled paper page ಇರ್ತೈತಿ ಎರಡು ಇರ್ತಾವೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ. After that you start writing, you make a columns common diseases in human. In first column you write down bacterial diseases. In bacterial diseases you mention one is typhoid, another one is pneumonia, and write down the positive agent for typhoid. Then write down the symptoms for typhoid. Write down the digestive means diagnosed wider test. Okay, preventive measures. And next one is pneumonia, positive agent for pneumonia. What we are going to call that one as a what were the symptoms for the pneumonia, right? Then next you write down a few common another three they are mentioned the bacterial diseases. What are those? Dysentery, plague, and diarrhea. Why I am telling you in the sense, if we don't know how the examiners are used to think. If the examiner asks you write the four names of means four bacterial diseases, write the names of four bacterial diseases, or mention the four bacterial diseases. That time we used to write what one is typhoid ಬರೀರಿ, pneumonia ಬರೀರಿ, ಮುಂದಿನ ಯಾವ dysentery ಬರೀರಿ ಅಥವಾ plague ಬರೀರಿ ಅಥವಾ diphtheria ಬರೀರಿ. Okay, this is about what I am telling you. ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ದೇನೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಆ ಪೇಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬರೀರಿ, ವೈರಲ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಬರೀರಿ, ಪ್ರೋಟೋಜೋನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್, then helminthes disease, and last one is a fungal disease. This concept is very important as a point of your examination. In exam they used to ask you the questions based upon the common diseases in human for 1 marks, 2 marks, okay, or 3 marks, right? This is about what common diseases in human. And last concept means last thing we are going to study in this particular concept, that is what common diseases in human naga. Last ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಏನು ಕಲ್ತು ನಾವು ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ನಾಗ ನಾವು ಏನೇನು ಕಲ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಕಲ್ತು, ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಕಲ್ತು. ಇನ್ ದ ಸೆನ್ಸ್ ಮಲೇರಿಯಾ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಸ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ವಾಟ್ ಫೀಮೇಲ್ ಅನಾಫಿಲಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ, amoebic dysentery is caused by the means not caused by the, it is transmitted by the house fly. Elephantiasis also it is transmitted by the female Anopheles mosquito. So these all are the things we are studying. In the sense positive agent we are studying the vectors, we are studying the symptoms, and we are studying the preventive how we are going to diagnose. Now commonly we are going to study the next point, that is what we are going to call as a prevention and control. How we are going to prevent these diseases, or how we are going to control these diseases. Now in prevention and control measure, or prevention and control, I am going to discuss the points only. I am not going to write on the board. Either the notes nana yatropa tandaga nimdu Google Classroom na hakirtini. There you go through that those particular points. Now I am going to tell you few points regarding the prevention and control. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದು, ಹಂಗೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ತಡೆಗಟ್ಟಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಏನು ತಗೋಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ how we are going to control. First preventive or a control measure is maintaining personal and public hygiene. Maintaining personal and public hygiene. Personal hygiene in the sense we used to keep clean ourselves, and apart from that we used to consume a clean water, clean food, clean vegetables, clean fruits. Those are free from contamination, any contamination that can help us to prevent or control these means contaminated us all these diseases. This is the first. Next one is I told you public hygiene. Public hygiene in the sense we used to keep clean our surrounding. You used to stop splitting everywhere. These are the common things. You ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಸ್ವಚ್ಛತಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೋ how we used to keep clean our surrounding, or we used to maintain the hygiene that can help us to control us or prevent us from the common diseases, right? That is I am going to provide you the notes. This is the first point, maintaining the public and personal hygiene. Second point is if the diseases are airborne. Diseases are airborne ಅಂತಂದಾಗೇನ by sneezing, coughing, ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗೋದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ viruses ಅದು ಬಂದು ಒಬ್ಬರಿಂದ ಒಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಸ್ಪ್ರೆಡ್ ಆಗ್ತಿರ್ತಾವೆ. ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೋಸ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಏರ್ ಬಾರ್ನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್. Common ಏನಪ್ಪ pneumonia and common cold, these are the airborne diseases. We used to prevent these diseases or control. For this, what we used to do, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು? What are the preventive measures? We used to avoid close contact with the infected person. We used to avoid using the utilization used by the contaminated person. Nowadays, the world is facing one viral disease, that is the COVID-19. ಕೇಳಬೇಕು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಿಕಾಷನ್ ಏನು ತೊಗೊಳ್ತದೆ, ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್ ಏನಪ್ಪ? ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಂದಾಗೇನೆ ನಮಗೆ ಆ ಒಂದು ರೋಗ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಅದು ತಡೆಗಟ್ಟಬೇಕು. ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ದಿ COVID-19? ವಿ ಆರ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಸೋಷಿಯಲ್ ಡಿಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್, ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದಿ ಮಾಸ್ಕ್. ಇದನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮತ್ತೇನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಡ್ರಿಂಕ್ ದಿ ಹಾಟ್ ವಾಟರ್ couple of times a day. Okay, like that. If the diseases are airborne, that time what we used to do? Avoid the close contact and avoid the utilities which are used by the contaminated person. Now, if we are going to avoiding which diseases, for example, malaria, or we used to go for the elephantiasis, right? These all are caused by what? Female anopheles mosquito or mosquito. That time we used to prevent the population of is to reduce the population of mosquito. Mosquito population ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ mosquito ನಾಶ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ? What we used to do? First we used to destroy the breeding points of a mosquito. Breeding points of a mosquito ಅಂದ್ರೆ mosquito the population grow ಆಗಬೇಕು. ಅವು ಬ್ರೀಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ they need water. So ನಮ್ಮ surrounding we used to avoid stagnation of water. Avoid the stagnation of water ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ? ನಿಂತ ನೀರು ನಿಲ್ಲಬಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ? ಎಲ್ಲೂ ನೀರು ನಿಲ್ಲಬಾರ್ದಂಗೆ ನೋಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಸರೌಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ we used to clean our what we are going to call that as a vessels. Day to day ವಾಟರ್ ನಾವು ಏನು ತುಂಬಿಡ್ತಿರ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಆ ವೆಸಲ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಲೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ we used to introduce the gambosia fish. ಒಂದು ಫಿಶ್ ಬರ್ತೈತಿ ಗ್ಯಾಂಬೋಸಿಯಾ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಫೀಡ್ ಆನ್ ಎ ಲಾರ್ವಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಆಫ್ ವಾಟ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಕಾಲ್ ಆಸ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ. ಆ ಲಾರ್ವಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದು ಫೀಡ್ ಆತಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಟು ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ದಿ ಪಾಪ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಸ್ಕಿಟೋ ಇನ್ ಸಚ್ ಎ ವೇ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ವಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ಗೋ ಫಾರ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ these diseases which are transmitted with the what mosquito. Again, common in Parana we used to use the mosquito net and all. Adala in book na kottidare, I will give you the notes. Okay, this is the thing. And next preventive measures are vaccination. There are vaccines are already developed for the different diseases like smallpox. ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ದು ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಪೋಲಿಯೋ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ವ್ಯಾಕ್ಸಿನೇಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡಾಗ ಕೂಡ ಏನಾಗ್ತೈತಿ? ಈಸ್ ಟು ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟ್ ಅಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಕಾಮನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸಸ್. ಆಗ ಕೂಡ ನಾವು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ನಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಈ ಕಾಮನ್ ಡಿಸೀಸ್ನಿಂದ ಕಾಪಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ವಾಟ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆಂಟಿವ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್. ಏನೇನು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಪ್ರಿವೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಮೆಜರ್ಸ್ದಾಗ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್ ಈಸ್ ಮೇಂಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಹೈಜೀನ್. Second one is, if the diseases are airborne, we used to avoid the close contact with the infected person and we used to avoid the using the utilities which that contaminated person is used. Third one is, if the diseases which are transmitted from with the help of mosquito, in the sense mosquito is a vector, that time we used to avoid stagnation of water. Then we used to use the mosquito nets. Then next we used to introduce the gambosia fish in a what we are going to call that as a water containers that can help us, in the sense the gambosia is feed on a mosquito larvae and it is helpful for bringing down the population of mosquito. Then next vaccination and all. These all are the things come under the prevention and control measures, and that is the last point regarding the common diseases in human. So here I am going to stop, and we are studied about the common diseases in human. What else we are studied, in the sense first common diseases which caused by the bacteria. One is typhoid and pneumonia. Second one is viral diseases. There we are studied the common cold. Third one is protozoan diseases. There we have studied about the malaria and amoebiasis. Fourth one is helminthes diseases. Here we have studied the ascariasis and elephantiasis. And last one is fungal disease, that is the ringworm. And last point we have studied, that is prevention and control measure. Prevention and control measure. And prevention and control measure, for the prevention and control measure, I will give you the notes. I am going to provide the notes ತಂದಾಗ ಏನೇನು ಬರಿಬೇಕಂತ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ. Or else this is the homework for you people. You make note down the points for the what we are going to call it as a prevention and control measures. Prevention and control for the common diseases. Okay, I'll stop here. Thank you.